wasn't born into a church-going family. My family and I didn't start really going to church until I was about 7 years old. And I just remember it was something that I really, really did not enjoy doing. I just wasn't used to the schedule of, having to wake up on Sundays and go to church on Sundays, and having to stop playing with my friends on Wednesdays to go to church on Wednesdays and stuff. And so it was just a matter of getting used to the new schedule of going to church. And so yeah, I just didn't really enjoy going. But of course, while we were there, I was learning more about who God was and who He was to me. And I, of course, believed in everything that I was being told. But that's kind of where I just kind of left it like that. I didn't really try to push it anymore. And being so young, I thought that was enough. I go to church. That should be fine. I should be fine. So we were going to church for a little bit, and then we stopped going to church for a really, really long time. And so I didn't really have that foundation of Bible school and Sunday school and, just all that. And so I think that's kind of why I didn't really understand the importance of going to church and having a stronger relationship with Christ. And, I got really used to not going to church really, really quickly. But I wasn't realizing how it was affecting me really negatively. I just wasn't the person that God had intended me to be. And it really hit me in middle school. In middle school, I was very sad, and I was just thinking about things that I really shouldn't have been thinking about, worrying about things that I shouldn't have been worried about. And I just found myself in a really dark place. And a lot of that was because I had strayed away from God for so long. And it affected me personally and spiritually, of course, and just my friendships with everybody else and my relationship with my family and everything. And, I was just very unhappy. And I just remember one night I was really, really sad, and I was crying. And all I remember saying was that I was tired. I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. And I was just tired of being so sad all the time. And I just kind of thought, this is probably going to be my life. I don't want to do that. And that same night I had calmed down, and I told myself that I cannot continue to be like this anymore. So, of course, whenever you're down like that, you always turn to God. And that's exactly what I did, because I felt like I didn't have any other choice, because I was always trying to I was almost avoiding Him, because I was, I don't know, I had strayed away from Him for so long. But I finally was like, okay, I need your help. I can't continue to be like this anymore. And that was kind of the moment where I had finally came back to Him. And a little bit after that, we finally started going back to church. And I was finally in a place and a position in my life in that church where I was comfortable enough to finally get baptized. And, I finally made that decision, and I finally did it. And, I remember waking up that morning and telling myself that, my life is going to change and everything's going to be so awesome. And of course it was. And, and I kind of struggled, because that's something that I had kind of avoided and didn't want to do for a really, really long time. And I finally just swallowed my pride and was just like, this is something I need to do, and I need to do it now before it's too late. And so I was kind of embarrassed, but I was also very proud of myself. Embarrassed because I felt like I was too old or something. I don't really know. I was just kind of like, especially because everybody's story was kind of the same, and mine was kind of different from everybody else's, and so I kind of felt like an oddball out because I had waited so long, or but I woke up that Sunday morning. I was like, so everything's gonna be great, and it was. I was really excited, and I remember just coming out of that water and having all that stress and anxiety and depression and just sadness and just all that weight that I'd been carrying on my shoulders just lifted off. And and of course I still feel sad and I still get anxious, but I don't feel it as deeply as I did then. And as I was growing in my relationship with Christ and just building it and making it stronger, I started to really realize and understand who Christ was to me. And I think out of all the characteristics that he has, him being our eternal Father is probably one of my favorites, just because I don't have that father figure in my life. I don't have, that specific person in my life biologically who's related to me to really look up to. And so for God to be that eternal almighty Father for me and for all of us is something that I just really cling on to. And when he can't be there for me physically, when I need help with my car, or when I need help around the house with hanging something up, or just things like that, God always places those special people in my life to help me with those things, and that's something that I feel like I'm very blessed, and I'm very thankful for that. I realized that in him being our eternal Father, he's waiting for us. He wants us to come running to him. His arms are wide open, waiting for us to come to him and just pour our hearts out to him, and he's ready to listen to us and just hear what we have to say. And that's just something that's really beautiful about him, that he's never going to betray you, he's never going to fail you, he's never going to leave you, he's always there for you. And I don't think a lot of people will really understand that when they say, oh, I don't know what to do. They go to other people for advice, and they turn to everybody except for Christ. But he's just waiting there for you. He's waiting for you to come and tell him everything that's going on in your life, even though he knows exactly what's going on, but he just wants to listen to you and hear what you have to say. I'm the kind of person to strive for perfection, and obviously nobody's perfect, and our lives weren't intended and weren't made to be perfect. We weren't made perfectly, or we weren't made to be perfect. And so, a lot of times I just find myself very stressed out because I want so badly to please everyone. And there was a time in my life where I found myself trying to please everybody else, and just trying to get everybody else's approval. And I had strayed away and didn't really pay attention to what God was telling me. And I had fallen into this trap where I believed in what the world was telling me, and living the life that the world made me believe that I needed to live. And I just wasn't living the life that God had planned out for me. And so I just really found myself in a kind of a dark place, just because I had put so much pressure on myself to do great things, to continue to make good grades and to not make any mistakes, and just try to be the best person I could be. And that's okay, but it wasn't because God was telling me to do it. It was because I was worried about what people were going to think about me. And I kind of just sat down and I was like, there's something that I'm not doing right. And it was, I was doing the right things, but I just wasn't doing it for the right reason. And of course that reason was because I was trying to please everybody else. And a lot of times I had been so worried about what I looked like and what people thought about me, and I was just so worried about other people's opinions. And I just kind of, for me it was kind of a wake-up call, like it's time for you to let go of all that. You're growing up, you're getting more mature, and life is too short to worry about what other people think, and God did not put you on this earth to worry about what people think about you. And He put you here for a specific reason, and you may not know what that reason is, but He put you here for a reason. And I can tell you that it's not to please everybody else. It's not to achieve all the greatest things. It's not to get in all the crazy clubs and awesome clubs. It's not to school clubs and all that. It is not to it's not to achieve the worldly things. It's simply to maybe just bring one person to Christ, or lead somebody, or just, I don't know. He has all these great plans for you, and you're not going to know what these plans are for you until you just sit and listen to Him and surrender yourself and give your heart to Him. And I don't know, for me I have really tried to really listen to what God has been telling me to do, and just listen to what He has to say to me and apply it to my life. And I have found when I do listen to Him, I am so much happier and just a lot more at peace, because I know that I'm on the right track. And so I think it's time for you to break down those walls and open up your heart, and just forget about what people are going to say about you, what you think people are going to say about you, and just let go of all that negativity and just all those thoughts in your head, those negative thoughts in your head, and just relax and just 100% give yourself to God. My name is Selene, and this is who I am.